And I'd like to invite Marla to come up now. So we're going to sit down and talk a little bit about sharing our journey. Yeah. You think your mom's watching today?
Yes, actually, I saw their name up on the Zoom, Ben and DJ. So happy Mother's Day, Mom. Thank you for watching from Florida.
Yeah.
From Gainesville, Florida.
I know that town.
Yes, I know you do. Jeff and I share that. So, yeah.
I was thinking about Gainesville this week, and just I think it's already hot there.
Probably, yeah.
And humid.
Definitely.
Whereas we're enjoying the warmth, but also the dryness, I think.
Mm-hmm.
At least I do. It's easier to take a walk and not get soaked in sweat.
Exactly.
So in understanding each other, we hear different parts of our journey whenever we talk to each other in the church and whenever I'm up here. And so I like to know something about your journey. And so can you talk to us a little bit about what your spiritual life was in your family at the beginning of your journey and up to leaving home?
Yes. You can hear me okay? Okay. Okay. I'm not usually mic'd. This is different. So I feel grateful that I was raised in a Christian home, and I don't ever remember not going to church. And I'm somebody who likes going to church, so that's a good thing. My parents were raised in more just basic Christian churches and rural communities, and we attended a American Baptist Church in Nebraska and a Southern Baptist Church in Florida. And as you might know from living in the South with lots of Baptists, the Baptists like to go to church. So we were in church Sunday morning and Wednesday evening and sometimes Sunday evening. And so church really became a second home for me. And I was very comfortable. I like people, I like music, I like learning. So all those things are part of church. And it had a big impact on me in a positive way. Especially in Florida, when I was a teenager, I was involved in the youth group and sang in the choir and played handbells and went on mission trips. And so I was really, and there was that was a big part of my life. Yeah.
Hearing about the Wednesday night, part of the Baptist tradition in Titusville, where I grew up in Florida, if you went to the Baptist church, you went Sunday morning and Sunday night to church. You just go home for lunch and then you come back again.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
So that was I didn't go to the Baptist church, but I went a few times with my friends. So this is such a big question. So you got some of these things before we came here, so you could shorten the arc of your life. But
condensed version.
But what's changed for you since then? Like either what you believe or how what you have grown into in your response to your own journey. How has that unfolded for you?
So I moved to California from Florida several decades ago. And when I moved here, I was married. And shortly after moving here, we became separated. So I really had to, that was a major surprise, and I had a major paradigm shift with that, because growing up in the Christian church, you're taught that marriage is for life. And I always thought it would be for me. And so there was a lot of growth. I stopped going to church for a while. I was angry at God. I didn't understand a lot of things in terms of why that had happened. I did a lot of reading. I went to group retreats and silent retreats and listened to music, and all of those things have helped me grow in my faith. And also the people, not just during that time, but I think that people of the church, in all the churches I've attended, have been a big part of me learning to be my best self and trying to be my best self in the world.
A hard part of the journey sometimes. Huh?
Yes. Yeah.
I like the your expression, to be your best self, because I feel like that's something that I feel like we're called to be as if we're following Christ, or we're following our own spiritual higher self, or that part of us that is that most essential part of us. So on that journey, you ended up here. How did that? Where did that come in?
Well, at the time I started to come to this church, I live in Ladera now, but at the time I lived in another place in Ladera, and just found the church on a walk at a time when I was looking for a church that fit, I guess, my changed paradigm shift, and would joke that I could just, roll out of bed and roll down the hill and have a church. So that and just immediately felt welcomed and at home here, and became involved in the choir a few years later, and it's just a wonderful place to be.
Yeah, how long ago was that?
That was about 20 years ago.
20 years ago.
Yeah.
And was that the same time you met Mert?
I think I met Mert in the choir, and I think I started singing in the choir about 2004 or something.
So shortly after that.
Yeah, Mert had been there already for decades, probably, right? As had some other people for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've mentioned every step of the way, you've mentioned music and singing. So tell us a little bit about how that's connected to your spirituality. Like, what is that? How's that fit in?
I don't know that I can really separate out my Christian faith and music, because it's been so integral a part of it. I don't remember as much as a kid in Nebraska, but definitely in Florida. I mentioned we had a handbell group, which I really enjoyed. I sang in the youth choir when we went on mission trips. We sang. Sometimes I would play a keyboard or the piano. As I was reflecting on this, I remembered I used to at one point in time be a part of a they call it a nursing home ministry, and my grandma, my maternal grandmother, was also, and we would alternate along with some other people going into nursing homes, and someone was there to give a little service, and we would play the piano, and it was very gratifying because the people that attended really seemed to enjoy it. And so I think I feel closer. I really can feel God in music, and I feel closer to God when I'm singing. So that's a part of, and I think probably some other people in the choir can relate to that.
I think so. In other words, for the size church that we have a pretty full choir. And so pre-shelter in place, I remember coming in the first few times that I was, after I was called here, and I was thinking there were as many people back there at the choir as there were out here in the group. Yeah, and if the choir didn't show up that Sunday, then we might not have so many people. But that's such a huge part of I guess you'd call it the tradition of this church, the music. I was told before Stelly and I came even the first time, about Sam and Eric and how important that music was. So maybe we need more people. Maybe I should interview more people from the choir. Make sure that they're showing up on Sunday.
Yeah, sort of got out of the habit of coming, but I know we're all looking forward to singing again.
Maybe we can entice them back with that. Thank you for sharing with us. And I know that everybody that's given me feedback on the few times that we've had people come and share, it's been very important to them to hear. So I know that not only did they enjoy hearing from you, Marla, but I know that you're very appreciated by this church. And so
Thank you very much.
it's good to talk with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.